I am so excited to introduce Dr. Jeff, a true innovator in the field of health and wellness. With his expertise and dedication, he's changing lives and empowering people to achieve their best selves. Dr. Jeff is here today to share the life-changing benefits of the GLP-1 product, a cutting-edge solution designed to revolutionize weight management and overall health. So, get ready to be inspired and motivated as Dr. Jeff unveils the secrets to a healthier, happier you. So, Dr. Jeff, we are thrilled to have you here. Could you take a moment to tell us about the incredible work you do? We can't wait to learn more about your journey and the passion that drives you about the GLP-1.
I'm Dr. Jeff Picciarello. I am a board-certified orthopedic surgeon, but for the last 12 years, I've been working in the field of regenerative medicine, mostly using things like stem cells and PRP to help regenerate all the tissues of the body, both aesthetically and physically with the musculoskeletal system. That got me involved with research in NAD and then more recently into GLP-1. Part of our practice is we do diet, we do hormone replacement, hormone optimization. So some of these products that we're going to talk about tonight fit very nicely into that regime. So I've been in the regenerative field now, was in the general medicine field, writing prescriptions for pharmaceuticals and doing standard things and doing surgery. But about 15 years ago, I started to realize that there was a better way. And so now I'm more on a no surgery regenerative approach to my patients. My practice up until probably July of this year, we were using a significant amount of prescription GLP-1, Ozempic, Mounjaro, Zepbound, and we were doing well, and we were having people have significant amount of weight loss. But our biggest problem is we had about a 40% dropout rate, and the dropout rate really came from two major issues. The first issue was all the GI side effects, whether it be nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation. People would we had people that would suffer through it. We had one lady who would take her shot on Friday. She'd be in bed with nausea and vomiting all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and she'd make it to work Monday and work the next 5 days and then start this thing all over again. And I felt bad for her, but she was losing weight and that's what she wanted. And we had a significant amount of dropout because of that. The second dropout was for price. In Canada, you don't have quite the same issue, but a month prescription, if you do not have diabetes, if you're taking one of the GLP-1 prescriptions for weight loss in the US, it's about $1,250 a month. So that's a big chunk of money to lose weight. So when someone approached me back in July and told me that a company by the name of LifeVantage was coming out with an all-natural GLP-1 that was available without a prescription, with almost no GI side effects, that had a double-blind placebo-controlled study and had 2 patents pending with the U.S. Patent Office, I was very interested. The company had its own previous product launch. It has had a product called Protandim, which has been out since 2005, and they've successfully marketed that over the last 20 years, supplement for oxidative stress. It's an antioxidant. It increases something in your body called superoxide dismutase by about 40% in just 6 weeks. So it was getting rid of people's artery disease. It was decreasing the risk of cancer. It's decreasing the risk of heart disease. Product that's in that is called NRF2. And there's about 31,000 studies on PubMed talking about the value of NRF2. So when I started looking at the company, The company had very good research, had very good data, and when they said they were coming out with a natural GLP-1, it really piqued my interest. And it's interesting that just like their Protandim product, it was not a supplement where it was giving you an antioxidant. It was a supplement that allowed your body to raise its own antioxidant level by about 40%. And so when they looked at the science behind GLP-1, they did pretty much the same thing. They made it so your body could activate its own GLP-1. So before we get into GLP-1, let me kind of explain what it is. So GLP-1 is a small peptide that essentially starts in your gut. It starts in the lining of your stomach, the lining of the small bowel, and it is released when we eat food. And so when it's released, it does a couple of things. So the substance is called glucagon-like peptide 1. So if it says glucagon-like, that means it's similar to the hormone in the body, glucagon. And what you need to understand is when we eat food, insulin goes up. And as that food gets digested and turned into sugar, insulin goes down and glucagon goes up. And when glucagon goes up, we get hungry again. And so if we get hungry again, we eat. And the problem with the US diet and the Canadian diet is we obviously eat the wrong things. We're eating a lot of highly processed foods. Those highly processed foods lower the level of GLP-1. They increase oxidative stress, so we're fighting that. So the way that GLP-1 works is GLP-1 blocks glucagon. The body recognizes it like it's glucagon and it blocks the receptor. So what happens is we don't get hungry anymore. What happens is it slows the secretion of insulin. It slows that digestive process. It suppresses appetite, which is very interesting. There are GLP-1 receptors, believe it or not, in the brain, and it affects the gratification center of the brain. So just like somebody that has an addiction to alcohol or an addiction to drugs, and that pleasure center is activated, the same thing happens with people that overeat, is that the activation of that pleasure center allows us or makes us eat more food. So it actually has a receptor in the brain for that site. And once this glucagon-like peptide binds to that site, it blocks glucagon from accessing that site, and it suppresses our appetite. It decreases that pleasure center. Heart disease, there's also receptors on the heart for GLP-1, and it appears to be cardiovascular protective. It's protecting your cardiovascular system. It's also protective to your neurosystem. So it protects your brain from things like stroke, like Alzheimer's disease. There's some studies out here in the US where they're actually using the GLP-1 injections to treat things like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. And we look at all the advertisements on TV for Ozempic and Mounjaro, and they're pushing, oh, it's great for weight loss. But when we look at the science and we look at the studies, it's not just a weight loss drug. It's a heart protective drug. It's a brain protective drug. It's a kidney protective drug. And yes, it slows digestion. It slows our craving to eat, which will get the weight off, which will decrease our risk of diabetes. All good things, but there's a lot of good things that had been unrecognized up until recently. The problem, as I said earlier, expense and side effects. When the company came out with this, what they're calling the mind-body GLP-1 system, it's not a drug. It is a supplement or an activator that the body recognizes as the building blocks that the body needs to build its own GLP-1. So what does this mean? This means that when the body sees the GLP-1 in the system, it doesn't recognize it as a drug or something that's been injected from the outside. It's recognizing the body's own GLP-1 that was made by the gut. And so the body responds to it differently. It doesn't respond with the side effects that we see of nausea and diarrhea and constipation. Um, Sometimes some of the patients get a little bit of nausea in the first couple of weeks. Most of it is because it's a two product supplement. The large container, the MB Enhance, has a significant amount of fiber in it. So some people respond to that fiber in a different way. They might get a little diarrhea, they might get a little nausea. But once they get used to it, or if they taper their way up, that goes away very quickly. But here's the interesting part. When we did our 12-week clinical trial, so what we did is we took 55 people from the company's based in Salt Lake City. So the company took 55 people, half were from the Salt Lake City area that had no idea what they were getting. The other half were people that were part of LifeVantage, and they were given this product. They had to go in every week and get blood tests. They had to fill out a survey every week. And what they found out was, on average, in 12 weeks, the GLP-1 level, the natural GLP-1 level inside the body, went up on an average of 140%. Not 140% of added GLP-1 from the outside, but your body increased its own production of GLP-1. Some people in the study, and one of the gentlemen that I'm going to show on the next slide, his GLP-1 level went up about 320% in 12 weeks. The average weight loss was slow in the beginning because we're building up the body's only natural amount of GLP-1. So in the first 8 weeks, the average weight loss was only about 9 pounds. Not a bad weight loss, but not what we're seeing with the prescription drugs. But on average, by 12 weeks, the average person was losing 25 pounds. 2 pounds a week is a good weight loss. You're not risking gallbladder disease. You're not risking hair loss. If there's no side effects, you're doing very well. I mean, if you think about that, even if you have a large amount of weight to lose, if you go 6 months, you're going to lose about 50 pounds. That is a significant weight loss that really is life-changing. But here's the other thing. One of the biggest problems that we saw was people would lose their weight, but they would also lose a significant amount of muscle. We termed it in our office Ozempic butt. People would come in, their weight was gone, their bellies were flat but a little bit saggy. But when they turned around, their backside was saggy too, because not only did they lose fat, they lost muscle. We had 100% of the people in the study had no muscle loss, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, so a significant difference between the prescription GLP-1s and this natural GLP-1 activator. The next one is the one that blew my mind. We did the launch of this product, the one that really wowed me, 27% loss in visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that really, truly can kill you. It's the fat that surrounds your organs. It's linked to increased heart disease. It's linked to increased mortality. When I saw this stat go up on the screen, my initial thought was, well, what are the prescription drugs doing? And one study on Ozempic showed that the loss of visceral fat was only about 7%. So this is 4 times better than what we were seeing in the prescription drugs. It's an amazing statistic. 82% of the people in the study thought they took back their control in their relationship with food. I can tell you, I have been on the product for about 12 weeks now. I'm down 23 pounds. But here's the big thing. So if you take an all-natural product that raises your GLP-1, it's less costly than the prescription drugs. You're decreasing visceral fat, you're decreasing your weight, you're not losing muscle. It seems like a win-win. These are some pictures of some of the gentlemen that were in the original study. You can see along their midsections considerable amount of weight loss in the midsection on all 3 gentlemen. The gentleman in the middle is the one that in his blood work, his GLP-1 level went up 320%. So he had a pretty significant weight loss during that 12-week study. Same thing for the ladies that were in the study. Here's 3 ladies that all lost between 5 and 10 pounds. The lady on the right side of the screen said she finally broke through her plateau. She was on the system 30 days, down 5 pounds, down a total of 8.5 inches, down 1.4% of body fat. This is one of the things that I'm really concerned about. And when I started really going down the rabbit hole and looking at, well, why are we having such an obesity problem, including myself? I played Division I college football and then played a couple years in the NFL. I've always been a big man. My playing weight was 265 pounds, but a lot more muscle than I have today. But if we think about our diet since around 1970, everything we eat now, for the most part, is highly processed foods. And so the more highly processed food we eat, the more free radicals we have, which means we have more oxidative stress, which affects our heart, affects our blood vessels. More oxidative stress we have, it downregulates our hormones responsible for metabolism. So it downregulates thyroid hormone, it downregulates testosterone, it downregulates human growth hormone. As those go down, our obesity goes up more. And so then we have more free radicals from the obesity, more oxidative stress, and you can see that this becomes a vicious cycle. So how do we treat that? And I'm treating it now with a combination of the two products I discussed. The one I discussed briefly in the beginning, Protandim, which is our antioxidant, it's going to decrease that oxidative stress. It's going to stabilize your metabolic hormones. And by stabilizing those hormones, now your body is primed to lose weight. Now you can add in the GLP-1. It's going to increase your natural circulating GLP-1 by 140%. It's going to decrease your cravings. It's going to decrease your food noise, and it's going to set you up for success. It starts slow. It's about 9 pounds in the first 8 weeks. Yeah. But then it increases to an average of about 25 pounds in 12 weeks.
Yeah. So just to be clear, I have my notes here. With LifeVantage GLP-1, there is no muscle loss. This groundbreaking product is designed to support healthy weight management while preserving your hard-earned muscles, helping you achieve your goals without compromise. LifeVantage GLP-1 offers incredible benefits for your gut, brain, and heart health. It helps balance gut function by supporting digestion and microbiome health. For the brain, it promotes mental clarity and focus, enhancing cognitive performance. And for the heart, it contributes to cardiovascular wellness, helping you maintain a strong and healthy system. It's a comprehensive solution for total body well-being.
And I'm going to go ahead and step out. So if we definitely have to keep in touch.
Wow, Dr. Jeff, that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your time, expertise, and incredible knowledge with us today. Thank you again. It's been an absolute pleasure. Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoyed all the valuable information Dr. Jeff has shared with us today and found it exciting and inspiring as I did. Now, if you're ready to take the next step and try this incredible product for yourself, I've included a link below. Just click to learn more about it and to make your own purchase. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could benefit this information or the product. Check on this video coming up. Take care and may God bless you.